Hey chat, how we doing today? Hopefully, today will be the final day that I do this motorcycle helmet project. I've basically just got to do some essentially what is decal work. Look, I've just got to finish colouring in the ears and the helmet properly so that the colour transition is more rounded to the helmet than what it is currently. Because currently it's just a bunch of squares and it's not really helpful in this case. So I just need to pull up references. Although interestingly, I'm just gonna. Oop, there we go. I'm just looking at the reference images here, and like this one here is definitely not canon art. I need to find like references from the actual show. This seems like a pretty good starting point. So this is oh, YouTube being YouTube. There we go. So I've just noticed a couple of things here. So the first thing I've noticed immediately is that there's actually gaps in the back here, which I may have to model into the helmet. But this is actually squared off, like legitimately squared off. So I don't know what the deal with that is. I wonder if I can go about vertex painting this. So there is like a different way of painting that doesn't require UV specifically, and it's called vertex painting. So it's in vertex paint mode. Let's have a look see at it. So vertex paint. If I minimize that, it doesn't really seem to do much. Hey Likely, how you doing? Is it because it's in... Now it needs to be in texture paint mode for this to work. And maybe seeing it to a different color. Yeah, okay. So this does give like an airbrush feel, but I don't think this is exactly what I'm looking for in terms of coloring. Okay. So that's definitely not an option. So I guess my next best one is to actually just straight up go into texture painting here. I do need to UV unwrap this helmet first though. So I'll give that a shot. Just have the helmet specifically and... why is that selected? I can ask for that. I just want, yeah, this one. Okay, so it's already mirrored, so I'm not concerned about that. And the coloration for this helmet is mirrored, so I don't need to worry about applying the mirror and then having separate UV maps for this. Alright, so most obvious points for seams are around the inside of the helmet. So round about here. So that needs to be seamed. This one as well probably needs to be seamed too. And this one here. So all this will just give me a good outer edge to work with, hopefully. Also, removing subdiv would be a good idea. At least for the time being, until I can see what the hell it is I'm doing. Now, this one here, this one here, this internal edge here, that all also needs to be marked as the same. So, using this, actually, should probably mark this one as a seam. I'm just trying to find all the good locations. It's not always the easiest. Actually, this one might be a better... because it'll still cover the sharps anyway. Maxime. Taking an actual evaluation right now because some stuff came up that I'd like to resolve. Is it anything that you can talk about, or is it something that you really shouldn't be talking about in live chat? Because, of course, I don't want to get you in trouble if you're just talking about it, but you don't want to be on stream. Hi. Hey, Foxy. How you doing? Still working on this thing. I'm gonna unwrap this, and I'm gonna have a look at the UVs. Oh yeah, these are fucking abysmal. Alright, let's see. So... knowing what I do about these... should be able to just do the stretch. So... that's the seam for the section here. In fact, I'll even just activate this. So this button here is UV sync. So whenever you click on a UV in edit mode on this side, it will show up on this one here. So these ones here are the seams for the lower rim of the helmet. The TISM test to dumb it down and add quirky light hardness to it. Okay, yeah, that test. It's been so long since I've had that test done. I didn't get to join last night because I was busy fishing for potions in the Fishing Frenzy and Dragon Adventures, and then got extremely sleepy and went to bed slightly early. I mean, fair enough. You're not obligated to attend every single stream that I put out, Foxy. You deserve to have fun in your own spare time too. By very early, I mean a little before midnight. Yeah, it's not always early, is it? Alright, so what is this section? I think this is... oh yeah, it's this bottom part here. In fact, I can probably even unseam this one because that would just connect up those two and, generally speaking, make things a little bit cleaner, I think. Wrap, so yeah, that will... but then that just gives it stretching, doesn't it? Okay, you know what? I'm going to rescind that decision. Lol, yeah. The quote-unquote early bedtime is a little bit questionable when it comes to us, huh? I'm at the apartment right now. How's it going? I know you've been having a few sticking problems with the apartment, but it's been a while since I've been on stream to talk about it, so how's it going? I'm gonna mark this one as a seam, I think. So if I mark the underside of each of these as a seam, even though it is going to cause this to be a bit of a mess, it should be fine. I'm going to try and... yeah, sure, just path that. Also, this section here probably needs to be seamed too while I'm at it. And just... yeah, I'll probably get away with marking just this specific section as a seam. That one also needs to be seamed if I haven't done that already. Alright, now if I unwrap that, the extenuating sections are these here, which corresponds to this specific spot, I believe. Yeah. I've been coming here pretty much every weekend to stay the night. That sounds like fun. It sounds like you're settling in quite well. Oh, did I show you my finished digital piece I did last week? I don't believe you have. I'd be happy to see it, though. I think I'm just going to straight unwrap these. Because I feel as though that would probably be the easiest way to go about doing this. Okay, that should be the least amount of stretching I can get away with. These here, these sections, they're a little bit off, aren't they? If I try to move them around, it's just going to be a pest. Oh yeah, that's right. I sent in the server. Never mind. Oh, did you? Hang on. I'm pretty sure. Wait, did you see? I'm sorry. I was sick for the entire like week, and everything that happened there, I think I literally just. Oh yeah, it's the emote, right? Oh, I'm so sorry. My brain did not register. That's a my bad. I'm so sorry, Foxy. But yeah, it was like it's a really cool piece though. Like it's great as an emote. Alright, now I should be good to start painting. I can send you a work in progress I'm doing for Art Fight? Yeah, sure. No worries, yeah. Unfortunately, my brain malfunctions for like the entire time I'm sick, right? Two very distinct yet bizarre things happen with me when I'm unwell. The first thing that happens is that I basically lose every memory I had made while I was sick. And the second thing is my brain turns into a video game emulator. That's not a joke, by the way. There have been multiple instances where I've ended up having a fever, and like while I'm asleep, my brain is literally just emulating modded versions of PS2 games, and I don't know why it keeps happening. Like, it's not a singular instance of it either, like, it happens basically every time. I'm getting questions where I read it and just go, oh, fuck. Yeah, me with the ADHD assessment be like. Alright, so, time to make a texture for this. So... texture, I'm gonna set this to be 2048. And I'm gonna give this, yeah, alpha this time. Honestly, it do be like that sometimes, though. Huh? I'm so- what happened here? Why is that? I'm sorry? Hang on, I need to go back and see what the hell happened here. I don't think I confirmed a movement for anything. Why is that? Weird. Regardless. Texture. Alright, let's try that again without the stupid, shall we? So, this should be working correctly now. Now I need to... Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Control T is the correct one for that. Sent? Okay, sure. What have we got here? Let's see. It's one of Maple's characters. His name is Maxwell. He's a small fox. Oh, that's an adorable reference, actually. That is so cute. I don't think I can show it on stream because I think Discord automatically hides itself from OBS. But that is really adorable, actually. Yeah, that's cute as hell. Alright, so I need to remove this one because it's no longer useful to me. Actually, I just remove both of these because I can just Control T this one and we should be good to go. Oh, texture. Go. Are these aren't linked to the same one, are they? Oh, it's because I'm using this now. No, that's fine actually. Because I can just new material and then just remove that. Okay, how did that happen? I thought I had my mouse inside there. I guess I must have flicked it out of window by accident. Alright, texture painting time. So we're painting this thing. Quickly, eyedropper. Is there an eyedropper in this mode? What the hell? I thought there was. Oh, actually, I probably need to do it through here, right? Actually, why am I doing that when I can literally just copy that and making sure that's on the correct one. Just Control V. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, now I can paint this. Now, I believe there are some methods to get straight cut lines for this, so I'll just have to try things out until it works properly. And the inside of the helmet should probably be blackened, right? There we go. So all these parts here need to be coloured. And always having a little bit of overlap is a good idea. Although I don't think I've given sufficient enough overlap on this lot. I sent the ref I'm using so you can see what I plan on doing with the character. Yeah, I saw that. Oh wait, you actually sent the the original pose ref? Of all the things that I was expecting to see when I reopened that was not a image of Toad being a little bit too familiar with a mushroom. I'm a real Foxy, I wasn't expecting that one. Okay, so all of that should be coloured in correctly. Now this one also needs to be coloured. So that will give me that one there. Now one of these is going to have to be blackened. Which one is it? I think it's this one. If I'm not mistaken, this should be the internal face. Yep. The character makes me think of Toad, so I had to. I mean, fair enough. Wait, what? Whatever it is, I must know. It's an image from the Mario movie, which explains why I'm not putting it up on, for stream to see. But it's the image of Toad talking to the mushrooms in the Mushroom Kingdom. If you've watched the movie, you probably know what scene I'm referring to. Actually, hang on, I'm dumb. These should both be blackened, right? Because of the way that the character's helmet's made. I'm stupid. Okay, these do not need to be yellow. Always double check your references, folks. Otherwise you end up as dumb as me sometimes. Alright, so... I think my seam split is too high, but that's not the end of the earth. Now, I need this one here. Now, I'm pretty sure this, unfortunately... So if I click the fill tool right now and I just click it, unless it's colored in yellow already, it's not going to work the way that it's intended to. So essentially I need to do outlines and whatnot on all these. So this one here needs to be yellow. Also, I just want to say something, right, chat? And this is going to sound really weird, but I'm pretty sure YouTube's threatening me at the moment. Like, not in a serious way, but just like a, why do I keep getting recommended this type of way? So, I kid you not, there's currently a video on my feed, and, I'm looking at it, and it's a thumbnail of a man staring directly into the camera, and the title was, "If this video found you, ... it's over." I'm just like, huh? What did I do this time? I'm sorry? Like, what, does YouTube have a sniper posted outside of my house at this very moment? Do not touch that mushroom, you'll die. Oh, I'm sorry, this one's perfectly fine. Toad, yeah. Actually, that calls into question, like, if the toads touch said deadly mushrooms, do they die? Is that how he knows? Or has he previously seen a human in the past touch said mushroom and then promptly die? Because that raises a lot of questions for me. Like, the only thing I could possibly put that as is maybe Princess Peach got deathly sick one time after touching one of those mushrooms. Would probably be my best guess. So that seems to be right here. Okay. So got that one cleaned up, but there's like a outer edge that I need to fix. I don't think I've cleaned it up properly. I don't think I don't think I have UV project this correctly. And this looks far too painted for my liking. It's supposed to be... supposed to be like pitch black in the middle, but the only problem is that there seems to be some overlap. Maybe if I overlap towards the internal section, maybe it will fix up correctly. Okay, yeah. That cleans it up quite a bit more. That's actually the quote that I wanted to draw as an attack. The first part of the quote, since it shows Mario and Toad, and I was going to do was make Maple as Mario, Maxwell as Toad in that scenario, but decided against. I mean, fair enough. I actually honestly never participated in an art fight. Mainly just because I don't think my content's really good enough to warrant doing, like, art commissions for other people. I don't feel like drawing two characters at once. Yeah, I have terrible time management. Like, it always looks fun, don't get me wrong. But I feel like I just don't have the staying power required to do something like art fight. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. What is with this naked ass rat? Goodbye. Actually, I might even just try and paint it from this side instead. Probably be more accurate. It's gonna overlap regardless, isn't it? Oh, that's annoying. Also, my camera clip is not sufficient for what I'm doing here. I should be able to just... Where's my settings for this? It might actually just be straight under camera settings. Clip start. 0.001. Another idea I had was to make a comic out of that scene wherein Mario meets Toad, but also decided not to do that because that would have been too much. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Like, the concept of art fight is really cool, but I cannot for the life of me figure out how people can just put so much effort into so many pieces of art at once. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, y'all have seen me how long it takes to just make a simple motorcycle helmet, never mind an actual character. I don't really want there to be bleed. I mean, from a distance, you're probably... Well, you do kind of notice it, actually. Was gonna ban that guy, but forgot how to do bans on phone for a minute. Yeah, it happens, you know. I can't expect you to do all the work, Foxy, especially not while you're talking. It's gonna have to be good enough for now while I figure out how to fix the rest of this stuff. I agree with you on that. I think it's crazy how people can put so much detail into their pieces for attacks and do so many of them like one day. Like, you'd have to be a professional artist at that point to even consider doing that amount of work. Okay, so I'm going to set probably constant fall off for this next part. I want to see if this works. I'm also going to need another color. There is actually a way. How do I do this again? Here we go. So you can actually set up a color palette and then just add colors to it, and then you don't have to go around finding the damn things later. It's so helpful. Okay, so these two just don't need to exist. Copy that, and Control V into there. Like, I'll be honest, people who do art fight and, like, some of the work they do, they fucking terrify me, right? Because, like, how can you put that much energy into your work? I certainly could not. Oh, it's locked onto the wrong one. I'm probably only going to attack like 3 people since I made my account late and didn't get my characters added onto the site until Monday. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so this is definitely an on or off. So I need to figure out how I'm going to go about creating straight lines. Because there's not really a way to do that in Blender. Like, it seems a bit strange to me that Blender has all of these tools and whatnot, but they don't have like a straight line or a square or anything for that matter for texture painting. Like, I know it's a bit wrong for me to assume, oh yeah, if it's Blender can have the same type of tools that things like Krita and Photoshop can have. But like, even some basic ones to do just straight lines and curves and whatnot would be really helpful, I think. When I get home tomorrow, I'm gonna get on there and see if anyone attacked me, lol. I wonder if Bluewood would attack you. It's like such a strange design. Don't know. Yeah, like, it's not entirely out of the question. I haven't told her I made an account. I mean, it's like, it's not entirely out of the possibility that she finds out, though. Because I know she does art fight quite often. I think she's done it basically every year since, I want to say, at least since 2020, if not longer than that. Maybe 2018? I'd have to ask her. The line is there, but it's just getting the straight lines. Blender doesn't really allow for it. I could try and use image textures, but I feel like they'd probably just not be as helpful as I'd want it to be. Yeah, she mentioned in her survey that she's focusing on art fight. Yeah, I mean, like, if she recognizes your characters, it's not entirely out of the question that she'd want, like, possibly want to do an attack. And, like, it's basically guaranteed if you attack it first, obviously. You know, to be fair, something like ZBrush would probably be a better choice here as opposed to doing Blender for this, but I do have an idea of how I can go about fixing this up after I'm done. So I'm gonna just sketch in... Actually, I'm gonna use a small brush for this. I am going somewhere with this, I swear, chap. So I'm gonna decrease the size and start sketching out the design. I wonder if actually it would be better for me to... Because I'm just looking at this image here. It seems like the connection point between the ear and the helmet, like the coloring is already moving backwards on that one. And then this here, like the color just connects between the ears, that's fine. So I'd have to angle it back, then down to probably about 3/4, or 2/3 of the way down. And then do the angle and then down slightly. And then just leave the space at the bottom. So how far back does that go? Because, like, I know the ears and the... Like, the general helmet design is quite a fair bit off from where it used to be because of the way that I've designed these ears. But we'll see. So I'm going to say around about that much. Please slide that down. And then slight angle, straight down. And then straight across the back. And then these two can just be connected together on the inside of the helmet. Alright, clean up the outside of these. Just add this to the color. And then I need to mark this down on whatever side of which direction that's going in. So this here, this one here. So the reason I'm just using a bright color is just so I can easily pick it up. So this section here all needs to be made into the same color, and then the texture itself needs to be smoothed out. It kind of still looks a bit ugly. I know how, like, there's a whole thing of, oh, you should trust the process. Brother, I don't even trust myself. Like, I truly don't. I do not trust myself. Alright, so that should be good. Okay, so save as, and save as image texture, and then we just pull up to creator. Well, enough about the arts. You're gonna tell me, I'm gonna tell you what me and boyfriend did today. Okay, sure thing. Sorry, don't mind me and my water chat. At noon or sometime after, we were at the park downtown and did a total 5 total Dynamax raids, Latios and Latias. They're doing Dynamax raids for the legendaries already? I certainly wouldn't have expected them to do it this soon. Yes. And like, it makes sense, but I just didn't expect the raid so soon. Because there's like a lot of other Dynamax Pokemon that they could have picked. And yet they just decided to go with Legendaries outright. Like, Niantic must really be hurting for cash if that's what they're doing. I think I'll probably just use this brush just to clean out all these remaining little bits. They already done the 3 dogs and the 3 birds. I think I remember you last talking about Moltres. It was very difficult for my brain to register that you in fact did not say Latinos and Latinas. No, Latios and Latias. Yeah, I know the accent can be a bit jarring. I'm sorry. Not much I can do about that one, chat. Like, I am just for real built like this. I did not ask to be, but I am. Okay, so grab that. And just set that up to black. Clean all this up. No, I had to reread it, those words, 2 words specifically, multiple times. In a conversation that was already talking about Pokemon specifically, my results are in. Yeah. I feel like misreading it to be like that probably gave you all the results you needed. Okay, I need to... set the threshold up slightly. Okay, now I can just color that in black and it should just work fine. Okay, it did not. Really? Why? Okay, now I know you're just being rude. This thing. And paintbrush, where is it? There it is. I should probably get rid of that too. But yeah, first 2 we did Latias with no luck with those, but the next 2 we did Latios, and both me and my boyfriend got the shiny on the first one of them. Really? I am under the maximum score. If I'm not mistaken, still being under the maximum score still could give you the results for being autistic, no? Like, at that point, you'd probably be like, what's the phrase? The one that they don't really like using anymore, Asperger's. Actually, come to think about it, this might have looked this way. Oh, it's like pouring out the side. Okay, you know what? I can just like. I don't need to be as concerned as I initially was. I used my lucky trinket on boyfriend and we swapped our Latios since neither of ours were good and I got a 95% one. Okay, neat. Yeah, getting the max score would be like, how did you finish this questionnaire? Yeah, like, I would just assume high functioning, right? Nope. Go back to the actual color I'm supposed to be using here. And then I can just black out this. That should just give me... Like, it still overlaps, but it's not as bad. I keep trying to use the one shortcut to move around, and I keep forgetting that's not actually a thing in this program. If you didn't know, the trinket is used to give guaranteed lucky friends. Yeah, like, I forget that lucky friends is even a mechanic in that. Okay, so... do that. And now I can just use the straight line tool to clean up all the edges that I missed. Not quite. Let's try this. Okay, that's a little bit better. And now, if I move this over here, I should be able to just do that. You know, this gives me a really specific memory, and like... oh, chat's not gonna really know what hits them, because this is gonna be so unrelated. So, when I was back in middle school, right? So this would have been a really, really long time ago. There was a competition where we had to make cars out of cardboard, right? And everyone had like all these various cars and whatnot. Some of them weren't exactly made out of cardboard, but like it's general scrap and recycle, right? It was one of those recycle programs. Anyway, my infinite wisdom, decided, hey, you know what would be great? If I made a cardboard vehicle based on Pikachu. And thus, I created something that I could only refer to as the Pika-mobile. And when I say it is a sight to behold, I truly do mean it. That thing was painted bright yellow. Like, it even had yellow smiley face tape, like, on some of the more questionable anchor points. But it was so egregiously yellow. Like, you wouldn't even fucking believe it. Hang on, I'm gonna have to, like, I'm gonna have to draw this out for some of y'all, because y'all don't understand how bad this was exactly. So I'm just gonna save this as new helmet texture. Helmet texture, save. I'm gonna save a creator file just to make sure that I don't screw up. Okay, cool. So, oh, this is gonna be so fucking silly, right? Where is my side panel? Okay, so I can even distinctly remember how this abomination of a craft project was built. So I had this really boxy car thing, right? Alright, why is it not... This should be in the correct position, so why is it not showing? Blender is trying to prevent everyone from seeing the abomination that I created. Okay, there we go. I'm going to have to switch over to a new note and switch this back to the green that it should have been. So, oh. Come on now. Let me tell my story, Blender. You cannot hide the truth from the public. Anyway, so this godforsaken contraption made out of cardboard was built like so square, like you wouldn't believe. So I had, so the way that these things were supposed to be designed, right? And this is like one of those things where I like last minute bullshit my project, as I often did. So you would have the car, and the way mine was designed is that the head would go into this section here. So you would stand here and like you'd basically just be standing fully inside the car. Now, I don't know what possessed me to do this specific project with Pikachu specifically, but it was not great. So it was built like this, like specifically this type of build, and the way that I set up the features of Pikachu were questionable at best. So I had the cheeks around here, right? So I had the cheeks where the lights would be, which is all well and good. And then for whatever reason, I did like the Pikachu smile thing, like on the bumper. And then I put the ears. Now this is where it gets a little bit ambiguous in my memory as to where exactly I placed the ears. But I'm pretty sure I either had them, and like either way this is not exactly great. So the first location I possibly had them was on top of the car itself, which is fine. But then like one part of me says that I also maybe put them on the hood of the car. I'm pretty sure it was on top though. I'm pretty sure it was here. But this thing was like taped to high hell. So there's like tape around here. There was tape around here. There was like the Pikachu red cheeks were also on like the rear here as well. So you had like the cheeks on the front, cheeks on the back. And then I also had, and admittedly this didn't stay on for very long, I had the Pikachu tail as well. Not in the correct direction, but like I had the Pikachu tail taped to like the back of the car, and it was such an abomination against God that my brain apparently felt it best to repress that memory until I was doing this specific project, apparently. Like, and I'd like to remind everyone of the fact that this was done the night before this event. So I think it was... Oh, actually I remember what it was. It was called the V2 Super Races. The V2 Super Races. And the joke was that, oh yeah, like, we were supposed to race these cardboard contraptions around a track of some sort. And, like, people would race using their own two legs, obviously. So that, like, that's where that came from. But I don't know why, but it's so distinctly in my memory. And, like, specifically, the memory that got triggered was this copious smell of paint that I used in order to turn this thing bright yellow. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm not a little bit weird, but I feel like this specific project was a contributing factor as to why I am so outright deranged at the age of 27. Both this project and a second project I did, which I'm not going to get into here because this is like that's a whole other can of worms. But it was a project where I made a paper, well, I say a paper craft. I'm slightly older than you, yeah. Like I find that people who watch my content just tend to be around the same age as me. I'm pretty sure Foxy is like either the same age as or slightly younger than me, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, regardless, like 24, yeah, okay, so you're like a couple years younger than me. But yeah, like the other project I did was I made like a, so paper craft, right? So being able to fold stuff and just glue it all together and all that stuff. So there was a really old forum. I think it was a was it called Pepakura? Regardless, like there was a specific forum that specialized in Halo projects for this specific program. And I made an entire paper, like full-scale paper project costume of Carolina from Red vs. Blue. And like I pretty sure I used like copious amounts of like some sort of resin, and I'm pretty sure that affected my health in some negative way. Sorry, sorry for the humming and harring chat. Like, that sort of thing, like, trying to remember those specific memories does take a slight toll on my brain occasionally. Couldn't tell you why that was, but it is certainly an issue for me sometimes. Okay, I think I've cleaned this up about as much as I can get it to go. So that should be fine. And then the ears I can just repaint over them. It's not the end of the earth. But yeah, like that's fairly close, I think. But yeah, I think I still have a photo of that somewhere if I'm not mistaken. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if I went and looked on the internet, I could absolutely find an image of me wearing that specific costume. Like, nobody believes that it was me, but I still have the helmet in my bedroom still. If I remember one day, and if I ever do a face cam on stream, I'll bring it on stream so everyone can have a look at it. Alright, so fix up that back part. Now I just need to do the ears. I am going to probably do a separate texture for these. So, split-wise, the easiest ones would be here. Actually, I need this one. Sorry, chat. So, there, and here, which would be the correct split locations, I think. Although, maybe just quickly removing... I love how the ongoing bit is that you use the quote-unquote clip command, but you've always misspelled it every single time. Like, at this point, it can't be anything other than a bit. And honestly, like, fair enough. Has my cousin come to visit? If he has, I feel kind of bad. Like, I should be talking to him instead of, you know, working on this project, but I am sure he understands. He does come around quite often. He comes around to see my grandmother. He, I'm not sure actually how much I can talk about it, but he's recently transferred to a different school to teach. And ironically enough, he's actually gone back to the school that he used to attend when he was in high school. And, like, honestly, it couldn't be any more befitting of him, really. By the way, another thing that me and boyfriend did today was after we ate lunch, we went to his dad's house and used his swimming pool to swim in and cool down. Honestly, that sounds like fun. I am terrified of using a pool, though, like, of any variety. And, like, it's not necessarily a phobia in the traditional sense. It's just, like, every time that I've gone for a swim, right? Like, I've actually done a swim and put my head under the water. What's happened is I've actually gotten pretty nasty ear infections. Not of any fault of my own, but just purely for the fact that my ear canals are so fucking small that, like, no matter how well I dry them out, they inevitably get infected, and it sucks. That time it wasn't intentional. I wanted to see if you got clips yet, but I fixed both my AC units. My fingers are stiff still. I mean, yeah, fair enough. And also, no, I haven't fixed the clip thing yet. I really need to. I'm just gonna quickly make a note of that. Fix. Alright, yeah, I'll have a look at that off stream if I remember. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. Yeah. Sure. Control T, and we're gonna make a new texture. Name this. Yeah, texture. And this one can be 1024, I think. I can probably get away with 1024 at least. I'm gonna quickly... Actually, I'm gonna add one more set of things to this. So I'm gonna add one more set of UVs here. So the UVs I want to set are on the inner ear. So U, mark seam, A, U, and unwrap. Hopefully it should make texturing this just slightly easier. I'm going to double check these to make sure that the stretch is not egregious. Okay, so yeah, all the textures are in order here. Interesting. Why is it showing... What is that? It's the internal, yeah. Oh, actually, you know what it is? It's because it's a polygon. I didn't even really pay attention to the fact that it was... Sorry, a polygon and n-gon, rather. So the reason it looks like that is because subdivision is active. So, here's the thing, right? So, the reason it looks like this here, like it looks like a fucked up snowflake, is because I have subdivision on it. If I lower the subdivision level, and like I move that around, it actually lessens. So if I set this back to 0, which is the way it should be, it looks normal. So the reason it looks like that is because it's not properly converted to tris or quads. So it might be in my best interest to just quickly go ahead and fix that. So join those together, and then I can just join these, and hopefully it should just... Oh. Right down here. Go, join there, and then join that. Now, all of these should be quadded correctly. Yeah, the edges are fine. And now if I go back into the texture, see that works properly now. It's all about paying attention to what the fuck it is you're doing. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at that. Alright, let's start off with the yellow. Actually, probably just shrink it down a bit. Doesn't need to be quite as much. And then these edges here can be colored in. It's fine. That is the underside of the ear as well, so I don't need to worry about that too much. And this one here is actually just not straight up not colored in properly. That. The test redirected me to something more specific and the questions have got me fucked up. Oh, unfortunate for you. Well, I can't keep my eyes open any longer. They keep shutting on me, making me jolt, so I'm gonna head off. Alright, Foxy, you have a good evening. please get some proper sleep for once. So, likely, is this going to mean that you'll have to change your username? Very EP? Yeah, I understand. So, like, if they're asking you questions this specific, do you think you might have to change your username to something that's slightly different? Good night, Cyclonic. Have a good, nice rest of stream. Yeah, I'll certainly be trying, that's for sure. Hopefully I'll get these ears done by the end of stream. Now, just need to... I mean, it's not exactly the Autism test. I mean, like, it's close enough, though, right? Like, it's close enough to be a qualifier. But if you don't mind me asking, like, what's the test specifically? Like, I know you probably have to dance around it because of, like, Twitch's TOS against bullying and that sort of thing, even though it's not really, but you know how some companies can be. And yellow. And then a little bit closer. So that should give me a pretty clean transition. The only thing here now is trying to make this here work out. And probably not like that. I wonder if I need to move the coloring back on the helmet a bit. I mean, like, the coloring itself is in the correct position, like halfway up the head. I wonder if I've not given enough coloring to the slot then. Probably. It's to split autistic, neurodiverse, and Asperger to see which may be showing up most effect. Sorry, I must not be comprehending English today. It's to split autistic, neurodiverse, and Asperger. To see which may be showing the most effects in day to day. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Asperger and Auti do tend to go hand in hand though, so it's not a clean split most of the time, I find. Like, those two are really conflated with each other, so you might want to keep that one in mind. Okay, so that's probably where the air should be. So I need to... Crap, I'm gonna need to clean this up, aren't I? Ah, hell. Alright, do the underside of this, though. Just to make sure I clean seam in between those two objects. So it's not too obvious. And I can just clean these up. And then just smooth that out and we should be good to go. Now, I don't know why this is acting so strangely. Where is that location exactly? If it's already in a correct location, I wonder if there's like a split. But even if it says, yeah, you're fucked, the law behind how I adopted the username is still applicable. I mean, honestly, yeah, fair enough. Certainly not gonna argue against that, that's for sure. At least you'll have a little bit more idea of what's going on then, huh? Why is that not... Hmm. Where is that particular location? It's on the interior. So if I... Okay, it's in this section here. Oh, you know what? It's actually probably this right here. There's like, um, split sections. I think it might be this one? I have to... If I compare it to... So it's right here on this specific edge. So that specific edge is located here. Why is it showing two edges? Oh, it's actually just showing the vertices. Never mind. So it's connected here, which means that is not the correct one. This one here, which is located right here, that's probably a closer approximation. So if I clean this section up a bit more, I might be able to get that properly. I'll remove the... Another problem could just straight be subdiv too. But looks like it's not cleaning up properly regardless. So if I clean that up with the subdiv off, and I turn the subdiv back on, yeah, it just does what I ask of it. So I guess it's just because the subdivision was on, it didn't know exactly what the hell it was doing. Yeah, because I wouldn't mind finding more applicable resources to make me not as willing to paint a sunset on my 30th birthday would be nice. Yeah, completely understandable. And sometimes even knowing specifically does not always help, as I have figured out the hard way. But hey, if it brings you some peace of mind, that's certainly not the end of the earth, that's for sure. Right, and where's my brushes at? Should be on texture paint, and yet it's not showing my brushes at all. Strange. Oh, not much can be done about that. Maybe the side panel can help me out here. There we go. Go, and I can access my color palette from here. It's a little bit messier, but it works. Now, if I spec, Okay, yeah, it's still quite jank, in fact. Need to really sort this out. Also, my brushes are back for some reason. I don't know why it would do that. Yeah, I'm just looking for direction at the moment. Like, I got one friend left IRL and I don't want to lose them yet. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. And sometimes support groups can help you find new friends. But I find them to be fairly hit or miss, you know? Like, I know how everyone wants to say, oh yeah, therapy is probably the best thing you can do in any given situation. But the hard thing that some people don't really recognize is that therapy is not applicable to every single situation. Like, far from it. Like, if it works for you, sure, good, but if it doesn't work, doesn't necessarily mean you're broken, just means it's not effective. I want to give the shading here a better go with the coloring. So I'm thinking probably 0.65. Just to give that metallic coloring. That and plug that in. Go. And I also need to do something about this here. I didn't color this section in properly. At all, in fact. Is this a shading error? I hope not. Okay, it's literally just coloring error. Okay. Alright, I think the helmet looks decent, although I do need to change out this now that I've done that. Alright, let's just retexture this then. For what it's worth, I'm glad you're still around, likely. At the very least, so you can pester me with cat ears on motorcycle helmets. That up. Oh, thanks. You're welcome. Anytime you need to talk, I'll try my best to be there. I'm always great at it, but hey, it's better than nothing, alright? Alright, I think I've fixed this so it looks a little bit better now. Now, this stupid thing, I believe is, yeah, painted texture error. Now, I need to figure out how I'm going to do this section in here. Nope. Now, that is located where exactly? I need to use the check for this one. So it's this one specifically. Is there a way that I can paint bucket this without destroying everything else? Actually, there is a way. It's going to be the cheekiest way I do this, but screw it. If it works, it works. So I can actually hide all this, and then using the... Why didn't I do this before? Like, I've literally done this before. I can literally just black that out. In fact, I'm actually going to increase the overall size of that. The only ones I don't really want are the edges here, which are going to really affect the way this works. So these here are definitely going to break stuff. But if I just color on this lot, I should be ready to go. Okay, that's going to be an issue. Crap. How am I going to do this then? Like, I can possibly hide the edges, but that's just going to result in the same, yeah, crap as before, really. Because even if I hide those, it's just going to still be real messy. Alright, probably find... Yeah, there's the location right there. So if I... Oh, interesting. The UVs is really weirdly wrapped in upon itself. I wonder if it's because of this here that's done that. And like in the texture paint, this has done some strange stuff. That would make the most sense, actually. Where is that? Okay, that's up there. So this should be... yeah. It's all good. I don't like to burden others with the goal to help. A simple bruh is good when unsolicited. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I default to bruh, and for whatever reason, people get really pissed off when I do that. I'm not going to name any names, though. Because a lot of them are people that I know in real life, and that could get messy in a hurry, you know? Okay, so... the retain on this is really bad. Now, is it because of the subdiv? Okay, yeah, it is because of the subdiv, actually. So, yeah, that's like going across an area that doesn't need to be going across. So if I clean that up. So if I go into edit mode and hide those. So this is specifically the only section that's there. And go back into texture paint. I should be able to just... The fucking test asked me if I realized years later that somebody was interested in me, immediately followed with asking me if... Man, those tests really don't hold back, huh? Okay, so if I set the subdiv back up. Okay, so yeah, the subdiv messes around the texture. Man, that is really frustrating, actually. So is there, like, no good way for me to be able to fix this then? Besides trying to readjust the UVs? Because if I do that now, then all of these UVs are going to go absolutely fucking haywire. It feels like there's basically no other option for me to be able to do anything. Oh, what a pest. Okay. How much time do I have? 15 minutes? I can probably get done in 15 minutes. You know, I'm going to send it and see what happens. on this part, and so the UVs I need to set up are literally right here. So these ones here, which would split this entire section into a different UV island. And I need to grab the other ones here. So this one here specifically, and I need to clear sync. Actually, I should probably... Yeah, there's like some fuckery afoot here. Okay, I wonder... I'm going to have to edit the helmet for this one, I think. But if I clear this up, it would make my geometry a lot better, I think. So I need to delete that vertice there. Fill that. Distance. So that one there doesn't... Yeah. Oh wait, there's one right there. Distance. And I need to remove this for a moment while I just sort out whatever the hell is going on with this thing. I wonder why that's showing up in this mode. Oh well, no matter. So I need to split this entire lot. Much to my annoyance, I'd rather not do this. Actually, do I need to split the entire lot? Probably not, actually. If I zoom into this one here, as long as I give this enough space, I can just make this a try. And because it's on the inside of the helmet, this is probably not going to do a whole lot. In terms of, like, actually breaking stuff, I mean. It might look a little bit... Actually, I'm gonna maybe fill that slightly further down. So, yeah, I want to split this. So, V, split that. Oh. There's the wrong one. I want to split this. And I want to split this one as well. So these two merge, not collapse, should be merge in center, I believe. And merge in center. And now if I fill these in, yeah, okay, that will not be nearly as broken now. The shading should work just fine, I hope. It is going to be a little bit janky with these poles though, but it's not a huge amount I can do about that. I can probably like do that, but then that's going to cause other issues. Oh well, at least it's not as bad now. So if I mark seams, and then this one here and this one here, clear the seams on those two, because that's completely unnecessary in this case. Okay, now I need to... Actually, while I'm here, I might as well fix this too. Okay, so yeah, everything's going to be balked now, but that was a given. So, if I set the subdiv back up like that, alright. Now it's the time to clean everything up. My brain's like, what the fuck are they looking for? And also, are there any women in my area that answered the same? uh, you know what the unfortunate thing is? I probably have fairly similar answers to you. Like, that's the real thing here, is the fact that I have to acknowledge the fact that I'm just built like that as well. Although, to be fair, I'm a Blender artist, for Christ's sake. Like, the writing was on the wall regardless. Oh, well, then send Snap. No. Mainly because I don't have one. JK, unless. Hey, I've... Unfortunately, there are some lines that I cannot cross when I am doing, like, Twitch streaming, that sort of thing. I hope you understand. Okay, now I need to figure out where this slot's gone to. I think it's this one. I'm sorry, whenever I hear the JK unless, I keep thinking of that one fucking Deltarune meme with Rule's card. And I hate it so much. Like, I vehemently hate it. Alright, let's clean up this lot. We have to redraw that entire thing. But hey, sometimes you do hours of work and then you have to just redo it all anyway. At least for the most part, this seems to have fixed, although I'm probably going to have to edit the coloring on it. So that's there, that's there. Where is that section? Oh, there's like a really weird overlap there. I should have picked up on that, that's fine. So that overlap is where? Okay, it's literally right there. Which means, yeah. I legit do not like going outside the normal expectations of types of relationship. Streamer and viewer, so yeah, no, yeah. I'm glad we can at least come to a clear understanding on that. I always like to double check and make sure. It just makes things a lot clearer and a lot easier for everyone involved, as long as those sorts of boundaries are set up early. Now, this bomb section here. Where is that? Oh, it's literally just right here. I think. So if I just... Yep. I guess whatever was there before got swapped with this one again. Alright, so that should be cleaned up now. I just need to clean up the inside of this helmet. Why is that? That should not be like that. I guess the subdivision's wrapping around in a weird way. It's not the end of the earth, though. It looks fine. Just slightly irritating. But I thought that was normal and therefore a funny thing to say, absurdist humor stuff. Yeah, and I get it. I just... Sometimes there might be other people who don't see it that way. So I sort of just have to make my intentions clear. It means the difference between having a relatively peaceful streaming career and getting into controversy. You feel? Alright, so let's clean that up. And yeah, that looks a lot nicer now that I've fixed that up. So the only other thing I need to do here is just really clean that. It should be... this one, I believe. It is not. Where is this then? UV editing, just grab this one and locate it here, and that is off the side of that one square. Cool. Good to know. I'll be more absurd in the future so it's blatantly obvious, i.e. Sen Jones. Yeah. Honestly, the more absurdity, the better. Okay, for the love of... Why does Subdivision act like this? It just decides that it wants to faff about with this one specific part, so everything gets painted in black? Like, why? No matter how many times I try to fix it, it just keeps breaking itself. Oh, is it because of the one thing? Is it because of the section here that's doing it? Because if so, like, that's really frustrating. I'm probably going to have to sort that out. More than anything, I want to at least try and get the colouring on the helmet done. Right, so, bring back the ears. What happened with... I'm sorry? Oh, did I forget to do the thing, chat? I forgot to save the fucking texture again. Damn it. Okay, yeah. That sounds about right. Okay, so... make sure I save this. And I need to fix the ears afterwards. But for now... where is my brushes? Actually, you know what? Yeah, I might as well fix the ear texture while I'm here. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Sometimes, like, it's just one of the things that happens when you do 3D modeling. Sometimes you literally just forget to save the image textures. And unless you're actually actively exiting the project, Blender doesn't tell you that this is going to happen until, like, you're actually leaving. If you, like, exit the image and do something else, it just automatically deletes it without telling you. Like, I would prefer it to have a pop-up that says, hey, you're about to, like, accidentally remove all the progress you made on this image. Do you want to do that, or do you want to save this first? Be like, okay, yeah, it's a little irritating, but thanks for reminding me, Blender, because I am, in fact, that stupid. There's probably some setting that auto-reminds you, but I cannot for the life of me find it, so, eh. I'll learn eventually, but definitely not today. Alright, clean that up. And then, yeah, the ears are like that. So, I'm actually gonna pull the colouring forward more than it was originally, so probably around that. This direction. Okay, that looks a bit cleaner, and then the helmet, which I should probably teach paint this now on here. Just cross like that. Now, yeah. And then straight across this. That's probably fine enough by itself. I probably just want to put something in. Don't worry, chat. I'll get it eventually. Be shrinking this down would be the smartest play. And then right above the visor. Somebody's being very loud outside my door, but that happens from time to time, you know. Then that way. Actually, why am I doing it like this? Isn't there literally a fucking... Where is it? Don't tell me they don't have... Okay, here it is. I don't know why I wasn't using this before. This is literally designed for straight lines. This is dumb. Oh my god, I want to make my friend take this test now. Yeah, just make every single person you know take this test. And that gives you a pretty clear indication of how things really are, huh? Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna quickly do that. Because then I can just redo this with the correct settings and things will just look a lot better, I think. Okay, and then that. Because some of these questions would absolutely make them go, oh, fuck tote, yeah. Actually, to be fair, I now that you're mentioning all this, I kind of want to make my former boss take this quiz as well. I think it'd be really funny. Unfortunately, I don't think he'd find the same humor in it, so to speak. Okay, and then I should just be able to turn off the stabilize for a moment here. And then just paint in the rest of this. Reword all the questions so it seems like a personality quiz. That's devious. Like, what is wrong with you? But also, like, you're right. It would be incredibly funny. Right. Okay, that's a lot cleaner now. Alright, there we go. Ooh, I just realized that I was overtime. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, probably... Today's Sunday, right? So, yeah, it'll be animation tomorrow for next week. That should be fine though. Like, the helmet's practically finished anyway. Like, beyond a couple of things which Blender just seems to like screwing me over on, like this is pretty decent, I think, at least for my abilities. Anyway, end off the stream now. Twitch side, do I have anyone for you to... What Pixar character are you? Question 1, are you asexual? Oh, like, that's one hell of a way to start a Pixar character quiz. But, like, I can see that being the sort of shit BuzzFeed would do, to be honest. Yeah, I think I just do the subathon guy again. Anyway, I shall see y'all in the next stream.